Hi, girlfriends. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Fancy. Hi, Jane Oswald. You guys didn't get to see that woodpecker very good, did you? Okay, I was going to try. It's so hard for me to zoom in. I was going to try not to. Let me look at this other phone. That's probably too big. Hi, Sailing Cook George. Those that don't know you, he lives on a boat with his wife and does cooking. It's great. Give me a minute here. I'm really shaky. Just had a great shot of a woodpecker, so. And I can't see on my other phone. I don't know why. This doesn't work. Anyway, yeah, grab a cup of coffee. JN, Fancy, Michelle, meet George. Okay, friends, I'm going to back up. Good to see everybody. I'm going to try to jump on my other phone, but I don't think I can. Ooh. I'm standing near the phone. I thought I was much closer than I look. So, I mean, shoot. Okay, that's better. Guess it's okay. Guess it's okay. Internet's not super great. Hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, Fancy, I'm just wondering. Let me try something. I'm wondering, actually, uh, that this phone autocorrects. So I'm going to move it again because it autocorrects in some of the bushes the birds land on in the background. Um, that's not it. That's not where I'm going, although I could. I'm gonna let my camera settle down. There's Daphne, Michelle. Fancy, you say it's a better shot and I move it. And I lost a bunch of viewers. I think everybody left. Is that better? You both are laughing. Is that better? Is that better or the other? There was like 10 people watching. How to Lose a Crowd by Caesar Flow. Either open your mouth or move around too much. Okay. Love my friends. I've been singing and dancing for a few hours now, practicing my beatbox. Enjoy life. Michelle, there's Daphne. Okay, I'm going to back up. Hugs and kisses from the farm. I'm glad that looks a little better. I'm enjoying my coffee too, Fancy. That's not a very good picture. Boo hiss. It's great. It's great. Leftovers from yesterday, Chinese food. I don't have either. I'm gonna have some Greek yogurt with frozen fruit, frozen cherries, and pomegranate. Is it called avils? The little seeds, and blueberries and raspberries. That's what I'm gonna have. Plain Greek yogurt with frozen fruit on a nice hot day. Yeah. I'm buffering. Don't tell me I'm buffering. must just be this other phone. It doesn't show the food good. What are you guys doing today besides eating? Come here, Roly Poly. Fireworks scattered a bunch of them. Aww. God, I'm hardly making any noise. It really picks up on camera. Except for when I talk. Yeah, I have thought about it. She's concrete, and she used to be, if I turn it around the back, she kind of had a, like how you can color concrete with stains. So she was a little bit more yellowish or brownish. I have thought of it, but if you look in the book or the movie, she's concrete. She's well worn. She's been knocked over, other stuff, parts of her chip. Petrie thinks she's creepy. He used to watch her. Then I tried to dress her up some. I put one of my Alabama homegrown farmers markets hat on her, like big brim, but the birds wouldn't eat anything. And then I tried some other hats, but I could paint her, but she's also natural. I'm not sure how that would affect the other ones. If you look around at my other chairs, they're all getting rusted. Milk can, the antique finish is rubbing off. Did you see some of the other statues? I need to show you guys some of the other statues. There's even some marble ones out in where there was a cedar pergola. I would like to redo this bed because I've got a bunch of concrete huge planters and cement ones. There's some other plants I want to bring down here for the birds and butterflies, pollinators. Somebody has washed away. What, you want me to paint her pink? She does. You know what, Fancy? She does have, look, she does have a pink ribbon around her waist. Or I could make it like, for me, have to be, I don't know, boho style. The ground here is red. The ground here is red, so it would have to have some brown or other stuff because I roll around in the dirt. Not every day. Mm-hmm. Which one would you, what color would you like for me to paint it? With a blue dress, yeah, like a jean color. Hi, Blackjack. Haven't I only saw I think a bluebird because I've had my mouth open the rest of the time. I mean a woodpecker. What you doing? Cheers. I'm sitting here myself. I'm not sure. Michelle, Jaya knows Michelle and Fancy. Michelle is one of my best friends. Her and I've known each other 3, 4 years. I think Michelle, right? I'm claiming that. And Fancy, I've known at least a year, maybe two, somewhere between. And Blackjack Getter is kind of a new friend, and he's lives in Canada. I guess I should let you guys all tell your own stuff. Okay, I'll be quiet. I've been. I don't know if any of you guys were there. Here I said I'd be quiet, and it didn't last 2 seconds. That I tried to live stream July 3rd up on the hill because I heard some fireworks. So I went up there and I tried to stream because I have no internet up there or data. And I I thought it was cutting out. I got a little bit of it. I put the first like minute or 2 minutes up there. Then I was trying to walk around get a better picture, but I think it's all. I'm not sure what did. I went hiking yesterday somewhat to try to get some pictures on a ridge I hiked to see if I could get some fireworks from up high down over the city, and a lot of people shoot them off here. So, but I couldn't get data or Wi-Fi. But on the way back, I got a couple of some little videos, little shorts I need to upload. And I was so close in the trees that I got sulfur in my hair. That was a different experience. I was wondering because I stood there for like 10 or 15 minutes, but I got a sleep. I shouldn't tell. I got a surprise. I got slow motion fireworks. Yay! Sometimes between 3 and 5, I have that. You know what? Fancy asked me that if I should paint it, so maybe I should. You guys leave me comments of what she thinks. Fancy always has a pink bow. That girl, the garden girl, she is out of a movie, and well, out of a book and out of a movie called The Secret Garden Girl, and has all these little rooms, and you come upon, because there used to be two big archways of trees in here, to where you had to walk into these gardens, and they were covered with evergreen um, evergreen plants that were so thick in that you couldn't see even in this area. But so she's called The Secret Garden Girl. I forgot her name, but it's a story based out of Savannah, Georgia. It's even been a movie. But Fancy was saying blue dress, so I could. I wouldn't want to paint it live because I thought about it, but I don't want to be on camera. Uh, it could be precast, but I think it's concrete. It's pretty heavy, but you can't. It's got to be precast because you can see the cement line. Is that what you mean? Because I used to do metalworking and jewelry and stuff. So when you cast stuff, sometimes you end up with that ridge. So I have some things that have resin, but that's not resin. It would have turned much more different colors, and it would get knocked over more. But it's gotten knocked over from cats and raccoons. I don't know if you guys can see Daphne's sleeping right behind that. And so I made a lot of like stepping stones, but even somewhere I would. There's a concrete mixer here, but so a lot of times for the stepping stones in different areas, like where I was at with that chimenea, I use liquid stain that's made for concrete, so they weren't all silver. I mean, regular concrete or cement color. And at that time they only had so many. One was a terracotta, one was a sand color, which that could be sand color right there since it's got a yellowish tint if you look around the back. They had a light green and maybe like a charcoal gray. So in some of the places I had easy stepping stones, like in that area, that little area where the chimney was. I'd just mix up the concrete and pour it straight on the ground, like in an irregular shape. So I don't know if you mean like that, but I could stain it if I had to. I try to keep things as natural as possible. I do have a lot of paint in there, but I have acrylics, different house paints. I have a lot of different stains. I wonder if I could, I don't know, I might have some indigo, but there's different plants that I could stain, that I could steep or something. I have a bunch of turmeric. Turmeric um, has a great yellowish one, and I have a bunch of sumac, the nutritional sumac. That would give a really pretty reddish color. So that way it wouldn't be fully painted. It might be more like, not really like watercolor in between that. But I could paint her really bright, but you can see most of the stuff looks pretty natural. Although you guys haven't seen it because it's overgrown. I had a red, white, and blue bed that's down by the driveway, and there it's got a tall, bright blue bird bath that I've thought about bringing over here. I should bring it over here and set it instead of the silver bird that's got birds on it. It needs to be, so that would already bring blue. And then I've got some big blue. These are glazed pots. I don't know. And see what that would look around her and then colors. That where she is used to be a butterfly garden. And have butterfly bushes and a bunch of different things. But she's moved over slightly. But things have grown up, and a lot of the shrubs have really filled out. New trees coming up all over. So I want to redesign a lot of these beds on a much smaller basis. And since so much rain, Seems like we're getting more and more all the time. There's when I used to measure it up on the farm was over 60 inches a year, and that wasn't even down here, which isn't that much, but it all runs downhill toward the creek. My legs are so scratched up. I went hiking last night to try to get the fireworks in shorts with like Crocs on in the dark. Got poison ivy, poison oak, but mainly brambles. Uh, Tore up, I think, by wild raspberries. But maybe I should do that. I've also got some really cool concrete, huge, big planters that I was going to do a lot of bog plants in. There's three different sizes, but I was almost going to try to affix them to each other. But I want to redo these gardens, like I said, on a much smaller basis. Some of these trees you see behind, they're still small enough, but in 5 years they've grown so much, and they're going to be 100 foot tall, 200. Some of them need to thin out. And then some of the shrubs aren't blooming very much because of the sun. So I'd like to divide some of the plants. Even at my age, I can do a bunch of this stuff, and that way I can teach people, and if they want to know, not teach them, share my experiences, but plant some of these in other places and try to sell some. 'Cause there's some really, almost not all the trees, but most of the things you see actually bloom. Even the weeds. There's these little weeds all around that girl. That's called smartweed, one of them, and it blooms in pink or white. You're brave, Susan. Why that I went through there? Stain would look nice, like pastel. That's what I thought. The watercolor. So I also have a lot of alcohol inks. I haven't, once I had the epilepsy, I used to create a lot of stuff. I basically had three businesses and one for my farm. I thought, okay, sell fruits and vegetables, maybe soap, a little bit of plants, other stuff in the summer. Spring plants. People don't actually always like to buy plants year round. Like fall's a great time, but they want them when things are blooming. But then I always made stuff. I make stuff out of the plants. Not everything is natural, but like I'd like to make a bench for one friend we have called Salt out of concrete. I did in the back one, and I pressed put it was stain. I think the terracotta color, and then I pressed native plants in it. It's really easy to do, but I used to do so much artwork, and I kind of quit with had I four eye surgeries. Anyway, I don't want to make soap because I could blow up my house if you do that in the wrong way. I could show making paper, and so I did a couple of videos from a long time ago. I've got thousands of videos I didn't release where I was pressing flowers. There's a lot of different ways. Here comes a flower. Anyway, I think so too. Maybe I'll have to work out colors or designs or people. Fancy set of blue dress. If it's a stain, maybe I could even make some, instead of doing it on her, maybe I could make some concrete stepping stones and put stain on it. Because, like I said, I've got alcohol inks. I don't know. The only thing I can think of right hand that might do a blue is if I could find some indigo. But beet color might look kind of pretty. Hmm. If you used coffee or tea, it would be a lot darker brown on certain areas. Maybe her face or something. Oh no. She has a barrette on the side of her head. If I zoomed in, you might be able to see some of the mottled color like on her arms. It actually reminds me of some of the crepe myrtle's bark. A lot of these chairs I need to repaint and put, uh, maybe put resin or something. Get some training. Hello, Grizzly Warrior. Sorry, um, I talk too much and don't look at the other thing. Welcome. How are you today? I'm subscribed to you too, so I'll make you a mod too. hmm I'm not sure if pins work. I heard that if, I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, welcome. Sometimes I'm talking and sometimes I'm not. You never know. I didn't list that I'd be talking in my description. So, Blackjack, if you have worked with concrete and you have with other stains, I could go down and just look at stains they have down there for like min waxes and stuff, but most of those are all going to be different kind of wood colors. Unless I mix some of the paints I have with, thin them out with some kind of medium, so it's more of a wash. Maybe apply it with like sponges or something. There are two people are saying they want me to paint my girl. My girl. So we're discussing the best means or colors. I'm not gonna rage paint her. Face looks a little fuzzy. Oh, UJ. Too bad it's not cold. I'm surprised they haven't been busier. They were eating earlier, but some of their special food comes in Tuesday, but they still got quite a buffet there. Can't. Mm, there's flies, mosquitoes, bees. Yeah, I want to show you guys some of the other plants and other stuff so that when I move them around. I don't know if you can tell, but over right where that girl is, right behind there, that bush that's kind of where that's a volunteer, but how it looks like a hill, that's a storm shelter that's buried in the ground. Some people have heard me say that before. So now 8 years, I was really busy for a few years traveling, even out of state a lot. So I don't think I've cleared that thing off in 10 years. It has some poison ivy. It has another native plant that's really pretty that has 5 leaves. It's a ground cover. Has vinca, variegated vinca, has purple little flowers. Has English ivy. A lot of that has to go. I'm going to plant it in hanging baskets. Volunteer trees that I'm hoping didn't go through the dome. Used to be a English knot garden right there. And then there were tons of bulbs and stuff. Anyway, I want to redesign it a little bit. Sometimes bushes do good by dividing them some. Okay, I'm not going to talk for a minute. Cheers. And from the hot tub, it's black with a white stripe on its face. He's up on the big kids' table with four of the other cats. So excited. That one looks even more. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Yep. Oh, here's two more. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, here. It's I wish I'll come back for a second. Fancy. It's a it's a storm shelter for like tornadoes and hurricanes. The thing is, at that time I had quite a few more dogs. Not as many feral cats for sure. But with all the trees around me, I used it as a food shelter. But I actually think a long time ago they had some kind of grant and they gave 5 people in the county. You still had to pay like $1,500, but um, qualified for it. And I put my name on it like I saw it right away. And a couple of the people, maybe it cost more than that, but it was a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Um, yeah, 20 years ago, probably or more. And so I put my name on the list. And I guess a lot of the people thought that maybe I had to pay for it all up front. I can't remember. But they thought that with the kind of grant that they got for a portion of it, I guess they thought that would come off the top and they wouldn't have to pay for it. Or they changed their mind or something. So it's a storm shelter. I'll have to try to find the name, but it looks like a big white egg. And so this ground is really hard, but a company came in and um, I was living in an RV at the time. That's my office up on the farm. And so some of these trees weren't here, but they had a hard time digging, but they couldn't get it as deep as they wanted. But there's a lot of dirt on top of it. So if I ever get it cleared out, I'll show you. There's a door in it. I'm hoping that none of the trees have gone through it. Eco shelter? I can't remember, but it's some kind of thing. And when you open the door, it looks like going into a little space capsule. And you walk down these steps. There's one or two lights in it, and since it's round, it has a bench. I think you can seat 6 to 8 people in there. There is there's a vent that's in the door, and so I used to keep a kit down there, like a go kit, and documents, water, some staples, other stuff like that. But if there was a really bad storm, I mean, I know the animals might run off, but I had a dog that had traveled with me basically, I don't know, from when I was a lot younger, hiked all over the country, went everywhere with me. And I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get everybody in the storm shelter, but I was really worried more like if there's tornadoes and the trees come down or hurricanes, that I get trapped in there. So I used it as a cellar for beetroots, for like potatoes, beets, squashes, pumpkins, stuff like that, canned goods. I don't think there's anything in it right now. So there's so much I'd like to do, try to be realistic, but we'll see. I'd like to finish this area and make a bed where this girl is first. I pruned up some of these trees. Everything grows bigger than it's supposed to be. There's a couple of these little trees here that I'm pretty sure I can get down. Use winch and stuff like that. A lot of the yuccas froze that you've probably seen. I stepped on one the other day to crack it off at the bottom. I can propagate the top of it. But all those yuccas, there's a couple of trees right there that grew up in them, but a bunch of those need to come back because they be cut out because they froze this last year. Some cannas getting to come up over here. You guys get to see some tall red cannas that no matter what happens, they keep coming back. The only thing is, it's a variety that gets a fungal. Well, it's not fungal. It's an insect disease. They get some kind of, if any of you know cannas, they get, it's not a worm. They get this insect and it curls up inside of the, when they first are coming out, the leaf, they're all spiraled together. It's very few insects, except for the ones that eat me. Get a gardener to help you. I can't afford that. And they want to do other stuff. Anyway, that's my therapy. I might go back down in my epilepsy medicine. I just got full dose, but I sleep more. I'm not sure I'll be more functioning. We'll see. But no, I can still do a lot, and people don't want to do that kind of work. I was president of Master Gardeners down here in other things, and used to, I, anyway, be in different states and do stuff at schools and gar- garden shows and symposiums, stuff like that. But I even twice had one of the trade schools asked me if I wanted to have, like for junior and senior year, the some students can sign up for where you get credit. Like you get out of school at noon, then you go work somewhere. And um, they're good when they're junior, kind of. After two, I'm not a good balance at telling people what to do. I usually kind of with plants sometimes go behind them or whatever. But when they were seniors, they were more interested in being on their phone. You know, if it's hot or rainy, it's during the summer, it'd be like 100 degrees, and I try to treat people good, like even have lunch or have drinks, you know, have breaks, stuff like that. There's a place to go to the bathroom. But the one kid I had, the senior year, he would show up with white tennis shoes on and white, um, white things. And that's not a garden center up there. It's like a working one farm. There's so many plants and everything's crammed all over, red dirt. So people don't want. And then even like if I'd be picking blueberry stuff, there's not a lot of people that are going to go out and do that, or even go. I have a friend. I'd like to, if I don't know if he'd allow me to go over there and film if I worked with him, but was one of the first ones. Well, was the first one in this area, maybe even in the state, that has organic farm. And when the extension, the universities, well, Auburn University was down there, and some of the other ones, and extension agents. I was the only female there, wrote and doing um, the like rows, the tunnel rows. Sorry, I got mosquitoes in front of my face. I'm flicking away, but I'm like a pack mule. I can do a lot of this stuff. I know what I'm doing, but I need to cut back. I can't afford help right now. It's therapy. I'll get it. I need to get some. There's a bunch of trees. There's trees all over, and there's about 6 trees, and they're I would only cut them because they're already halfway down, but they're all like widowmakers sticking in other ones. It's over $1,000 for each tree. So, you know, I've had people just last year, the year before, come over and quote some, and that was before all these were like this. There's one by that blue building I'd like to take because I think there's a natural spring right there, and there's a truck that was running that I think is going to slide off the back of that hill. If it starts to slide off the back of that hill, I think it's going to take one of those trees right by where that building is. We'll see. I'm not going to focus on that stuff. Focus on things I can, which is when you live in nature, when you're surrounded by nature, unless you do hire a lot of people or have family or friends, you just, yeah, it is very expensive. You know, when I was working, it was okay, but I still try to take down as few trees as possible. And for a lot of these plants, when you buy them or you look in stores, at least for me, most of my beds I amended. Almost everything down here I raised as far as the ground. I dig, but it's so hard. That this was part of a hill, like how it goes straight down. So it's really rocky. It's part of the Piedmont Plateau. We go either gunshots or fireworks. I said there'd probably be more tonight. I should try to go where I was last night, but I couldn't go live there. Um, I don't know if it was more cleared up on the farm and some of the backlands that's a lot higher, but some of that I have to bushwhack through. Anyway, you you get to see and you guys make some suggestions. There's so much stuff up there that's so pretty that I've grown or that's hidden in some of these areas. And some of it there's so many decorative pots and other things. I'll pull out some of my blue ones tomorrow because if you weren't here, Fancy, I was saying I've got a really pretty Blackjack had a good idea about staining her. So I've got more concrete. There used to be that she was in a different spot, so there was a lot of different. Um, it was actually a butterfly garden. So there were butterfly bushes, dwarf one called Nano Purple. That's a really great one. And I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. But different host food and other stuff. I just wish so many varieties of plants. But I try to encourage pollinators and the birds, and so keep out host food for like the winter, and then for the nectar. Hi, taxi. I'm, I, huh? What are you doing? A bunch of the cats are starting to come out, getting that time. But about this time when the sun goes down, not goes down, but it shades right here, is when the mosquitoes come out, don't they, Sneaky Pete? Don't they? I know. What, taxi? But there's some plants up there that I want to bring down here. Some Joe Pye weed that's native. There's several varieties, and it's great for so many butterflies and um, birds. It's just a great plant. It's native. You can use it as a cut flower. I dry it and bed it in paper. Um, I'm just trying to think. And it was not hard, but I chose to be with the dogs the last year and a half. And then with my eyesight, I just last week went to see if one of my eyes was reverting, but they said no. So I'm gonna dig out some stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably paint. I want to rage paint. I've been wanting to rage paint for about 3 years. No, I don't know. 8, 10 years, 12 years. I don't know. And do other painting. I'd like to make some rustic, make some cement stuff while it's still nice. If you saw those lives where I had those leaves illuminated on the back, that'd be easy. Yeah, and I have some clay. I have a couple kinds of clay in there. I have to work it in water, or I could dig up some clay down by the creek. But I've got some stoneware in there. I wouldn't want to use porcelain. We could make hypertufa containers if any of you guys have done that. There, anyway, I'm gonna change these more into, some of the shrubs will stay in the ground, but the rest of the stuff will go in containers. There's roses in here that are in, that you can't see. Some other pretty shrubs. I had things that bloomed all year round, even in December, January. Right, kitties? I have to be more realistic. I can't do 20 things at once. I'm lucky if I'm still looking for a phone. Ask Blackjack for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I better find it soon. It's when I thought I lost one the other night. It's when I film in the dark and then there's storms or I'm going romping through the woods and lose some of my stuff. Is anybody watching? She should get up and look at my phone. I was going to show you the cats, but they're all gone too. I guess the birds, what time is it? Yeah. Oh, that's it. What are you doing, Taxi? You don't even hear as many birds as normal right now. Most of them up in the trees. That chestnut, I wish I would have shown you. That's the one that's, well, it's behind the girl's head. Beautiful shape and canopy. It's getting disease. Sometimes the one in Alabama happened. It's just starting to form the balls, and they're going to be real green and fuzzy if I can grab some off of it. Just last month, they had these long tendrils that were probably 6, 8 inches, 10 inches long, off whitish cream color. Looked like a mini, a real small baby bottle brush. Attract all kinds of bees and moths and butterflies to them. But that's probably going to have to come out. So sad. Any lumberjacks out there? Should be careful what I ask for, huh? Fancy. When you asked if I could hire some. Oh, bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Sorry, Fancy, I wasn't looking. Thanks for stopping by. I was going to let this be a quiet stream, and I'm just so relaxed today. Didn't know you were still here, Sailing Georgia, that you came back. What you cooking tonight? Hi, Great Grizzly, you're still here too? I can't tell who's here. Sailing Cook George, I used to use a marine type of sealer for stained glass concrete things, but especially when I put stained glass in them, I put the stained glass, put a design in the bottom of a form and then pour the concrete over. But then I used to use some kind of marine boat sealer. It's kind of expensive, but it's really worth it. That noise you hear is a woodpecker. It's a red-headed chestnut summer. I've seen videos on it with feeding their feeding it, her babies. Yeah. I see you, you. Just sitting here hanging out. Let me see. Take my headphones. So I'm just kind of chilling. Sometimes I don't know. Oh, sorry. Had some ants climb up my leg. George, I guess that's one reason to be at sea, huh? Because you have probably flying. That's a question. Maybe it's a silly question, George. Do you have many mosquitoes? Like if you're out, not dog, but like say further away from land? Maybe you always have them, but do you have them? He may be preparing food right now. He's, just doing sweet boy. What you doing, sweet boy? I see. You need your eye clean. You need your eye clean. I wonder if I back away more, maybe you guys will see more birds. They usually eat in front of me anyway, except for cardinals. Some of the females are a little bit more. Look, so boy. You go sit over here, sweetie. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet for a while, but I'll jump on my phone. Timber. You still there? I'm just getting here. I just read I was shocking peanuts. This darn phone. Don't blame my fat fingers. Ah, no, I typed shucking twice. It doesn't like that word. Probably not. You're not here, are you? You left? Timber! I missed everything because I was gone for a few minutes. Mm. Oh, see how that's that phone? Do you see how it's auto-correcting? I don't know who's watching. I don't usually film off of that one. Okay, I guess I missed people. Sorry. I think I'm going to shoot her in a different direction because this phone, I don't know how to turn off the autofocus. And um, the one bush right behind her always moves. So it could be that. I'm wondering. Got some big rocks here. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Sometimes I just do not have good showing that bird bath too. Unless I go up a little bit. Hold on. Hi, Willie. How are you? It's just trying to move the phone. I don't. The internet's okay. I thought about turning it off soon, but are you okay? But I'll sit here and talk to you, or I can. I do you want me to just talk to you, or do you want me to type? Are you okay? Stay up too late with fireworks? You're tired. Me going up full dose makes me tired. I sleep more now. Nothing wrong with taking a nap or going to bed early. Okay, why are you asking? I I was just wondering because I don't usually see you like if I'm in your channel or something. You know, uh, if you're taking a nap during the middle of the day. And I think you stayed up last night and streamed fireworks, didn't you? So I figured you might have been up too late. Not too late, but like later than normal. Just was asking, want to make sure you didn't feel bad. Hi, JN. I don't know if I should talk or not. I was moving it. Hi, girlfriend. Oh, you've been lurking? Oh, well, that's good. I wasn't sure, and it wasn't great a picture. I didn't know if I should talk, not talk. This is the time of day. I don't have great internet. Look, a heart. I don't know if I've ever used that emoji. It's so sweet. Hello, girlfriend. Did you get through making your squirrel salad, your special salad? Listen, tree frog starting. Oh, that makes sense. Now I understand. Took me a minute. Took me a minute. Now I gotcha. Sometimes a word or a sentence has more than one meaning, especially when text or something. But I'm a maybe I'm chilling too much. Yes, you were. I knew you were. I some. I guess you need to teach me. Not need to, because then that's like expectation. How to say the name, like enunciation, phonetically. Is that what it is when you kind of teach people how to say a word by the syllables? Okay, I'm not using the correct words. I know squirrels eat a lot, surprisingly. Yeah, I think these squirrels would eat more if they had a chance. These cats eat more, surprisingly. I shouldn't say it, all kinds of guys. Should I go sit on the porch again? Although Willie just might be listening and kind of watching here too. Ah, you guys will hear me. This is the time of night, afternoon, actually, not night, where um, insects start to come. Your cats eat a lot. Oh, imagine all these here. So I try not to put out too much extra food because, it's okay if there's some extra. Ferals, that's what most of these were, or still semi, but between the raccoons and possums and squirrels. So, JN, were you listening at all last night when I recited a poem, short story? I wonder if that was considered a. Well, it might have been considered more of a short story than a poem. Wow, somebody's going up this road. Listen, listen. We might get stuck. It's actually doing pretty good. I have like 50 videos or more of a truck driver where his GPS sent him. He made a wrong turn and it came around and circled around, and I could hear this noise. And I was like, a lot of truck drivers. In fact, the farmland I bought from one, but it's all the pavement's gone. And since this where the house sits and this part, most people it's flat, but this goes woo, so hardly anybody drives. And he would have slid off the other side of the road, which wouldn't have been funny, except for it wasn't a bunch of trees. But I have all these videos of him trying to come from around the corner. I had my tripod. He was probably thinking, "What is she doing?" And I knew he was going to hit this a couple of potholes and get his trailer rocking and rolling. And then I knew his flattest part is front of where the farm is, and then coming down that hill and then have to go up a steep hill that's probably like 75-degree angle. I knew he'd have a problem. And the road doesn't dry up very much with all the rain, at least right there. I'll have to release a lot of those. Did you? Not in a big rig though, right? Like in a 18-wheeler? Yeah, I wouldn't. I used to use maps. Now occasionally I still use some of them to listen to, but I try to when I traveled, of course. Yeah, no. But there's still quite a few up here. But for a while, the roads were so bad here, have gotten so bad here a few times that I always used to have a post office box, but I had to either have a mailbox out at the main road, which would have been like a quarter mile away or more, or but I had a post office box. But even the buses quit running around this little area. I don't think they come in this area, this like little community. School buses. And for a while, like for the farm, I would go meet the UPS. Well, especially if I got like a pallet or something, then I'd meet him at the Walmart or the co-op. But people always want to come up at the farm. Some of my customers are friends, and I guess they expected it to be like a garden center. I never let people come over. Had one lady come over, and she had like a Cadillac, and that's when the roads were kind of in decent shape, and came in the neighborhood and stuff like that, because you can't drive up that driveway, even before like 6 years ago when there was no pine trees in the driveway. It's gotten so bad you need 4-wheel drive to drive up there. That's one reason I traveled. And the farm was like an afterthought. I was like, oh, I have land. I was always into plants. Yeah, huh, Daphne? Daphne, huh? You're so sweet. Yes, you sweet girl. But mosquitoes are starting to come out. Tonight, I might try to go. I haven't uploaded it yet, but wait, Willie, if you're still there, JN, I took some. If you saw that one, I guess it's considered a short. That was, I don't know if you were, I tried to go live up on the hill and I was losing signal a lot, but that was the first 2 minutes. Saw a little bit of fireworks. And then last night I went and hiked. I probably am repeating myself. And walk, and I didn't have signal even on data. So when I came back, I got some. And I got one in slow motion. That's the one I got sulfur on my hair. Yeah, I'll get scratches, go through poison ivy, other stuff to save my animals or to get a great shot. So, yeah, I'm getting kind of eat up. I may have to put some sweatpants or long scrubs on. But when I have scrubs on, mosquitoes, they'll go even through thick sweatpants. And it is hot to wear them, but about 4 o'clock on the sun, late afternoon. I don't know if it's like it for you. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. I'm starting to get attacked by um, mosquitoes and ants. I'm gonna go put some pants on. I'll be back in a little bit. You listen to the cicadas and tree frogs starting to come out. Sorry for all the strange noises. That's me crunching. Says 2 people watching. I'm gonna bounce the camera. I want to see how much charge is on this. I'm down to 25 minutes, 25%. So I'm gonna stop at 5, which is 21 minutes for me, which is right at just a little over 2 hours. But since it has 25 that way, if I go stream, see if I can get, or go downtown. So about another 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Thanks to whoever's watching. If the screen goes dark, it means the battery died before then. Appreciate it. I'll back up again. You can probably see maybe a few more birds. Yeah. Peace and love from the farm, right? Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll say goodbye when I finally turn it off again. Have a good day. Guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. My phone's buffering inside. I don't know if the stream's still going. I was going to wait another 5-10 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. I don't know if I'll stream again tonight or not. If I try to go downtown or something, maybe I could get data better or something. I may decide to visit friends. So you may see, if I'm still up, maybe in the morning I'll put up a bird stream where you can just listen to them pre-dawn or something. You never know. I just kind of throw them up there whenever. So whoever's still watching, I hope you have a great day. Maybe some of this was meditated, but it's about feeding time anyway. So thank you all for watching. Peace and love out there. Yeah, that's the most important thing right now at the moment. Maybe it's because I'm super chill. Okay, too much talking. Bye, everybody.